Before we go back racing, Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s Amp Energy National Guard Chevrolet got a little different look to it this week. 70,000 fans selected from an Amp Energy promotion to get their names on the car. Hendrick Motorsports Graphics Director Jim Gravlin spent about 80 hours developing a stencil for the wrap that they put on the machine by hand. Used his computer to place all the names. 5 test trials, 200 hours to complete. And Doc, somewhere among those 70,000 names in addition are your name, DJ's, Andy's, Rusty's, Brad's, mine. They're in there somewhere. I hear they're on the hood.
Actually, they're all underneath his name there at the left side of the door, right beneath where it says Dale Earnhardt Jr. Now let's listen into the radio for the 48 car for Jimmy Johnson.
Patience, sir. Didn't do anything silly. Or either we need to take gear out, which I know is impossible, or there's something to prevent this thing from running like it should when I got somebody on my bumper. It can do some things at times, but it's just not, something's wrong. I'm going to try the B-box. Listening to these other guys, just for what it's worth, the 88 just said the same thing about when he was leading, that felt like the car just stopped, as did the 11.
So he's obviously feeling the car change significantly there in the draft.
Well, what happens is these air currents really are funny with these big cars and a lot of wind out there, and it can change the tone of that engine and make the driver think there's something wrong.
Yeah, definitely it's different. It has how fast you're going and who you're hanging with and how much of a push you're getting. You go back to green, Elliott Sadler's the leader with Casey Mears on his bumper.
Elliott Sadler finished 6th in the Daytona 500. Had a great run to open the season here in 2008. Trying to keep that Gillette Evernham Dodge up front.
Well, now it's time for Kenny Wallace to be speeding. He's in that lucky dog spot. He was speeding on pit road, and they held him a lap for going excessively over the speed limit. So now he's got a chance to get that lucky dog back so he can race up here with these guys.
Little bump draft from Mears. Here comes Kyle Busch's Toyota to the high side.
I feel he's not going to get much help there from Mr. Gordon, who's going to go with his teammate. Denny Hamlin's going to help his teammate in Kyle Busch.
The 12 car of Ryan Newman dropped a cylinder, is now headed to the garage area. We'll update you as soon as we know any more on what's going on there. And by the way, the 22 car of Dave Blaney having electrical issues. He is being shown now back in the 37th position. Let's go down and check in our ESPN Tech Center in Tim Brewer.
Jerry, this voltmeter right over here, if we've got about 13.8 volts, the thing's going to be sufficient. But an indication, talking with Nelson Crozier up at Nelson Specialties, when this tachometer gets real erratic, that's when the battery is literally out of power. That's the indication that when you're looking for, you need to come in and change the battery.
Yeah, these things won't run without volts. And the problem with these cars today is they have so many electrical components in there, from air conditioners, blowers. There's blowers all over these cars that it takes a lot of power to run them, and you can't run long without full charge in that battery or an alternator working. Now, this looks like the Kyle Busch we've seen all year.
Yeah, I thought for a minute there, those two were glued together. It looked like he had a trailer hitch on there, and he was pulling the 11 car of Denny Hamlin along. But these two have gotten together and separated themselves for just a minute. It won't take long till the other guys get back.
They can't maintain that. So you can see this. Actually, what it does, it helps these other guys gain momentum on you. And you'll see now Kurt Busch is going to go by these guys with help from Brian Vickers, and then now they look like they're unbeatable. This will happen all day long. You'll see these guys going back and forth. But the one constant up at the front has really been Travis Kvapil in his 28. He's been able to stay up there pretty well consistently.
Yeah, he's done a nice job of driving that race car and getting himself in the right position. You see 3 wide all the way back for about 11 rows there.
34 cars, and there you see the 99 car back in Biffle. It's Edwards and Biffle back here. You see these guys, there's a 24. The 1 car down in there, the 8 car.
At the back of that pack, the 29 who stayed out and led a lap that last time, as you said, and then the 48's right there. He's doing his best to not lose this. He had to be the very last car, and that's the hardest thing, not to lose the draft when you're that, because you have no pushing help. But he's got himself in a pretty good spot here now.
There's the 21 of John Wood, 4th generation out of the Wood brothers family in Stewart, Virginia, making his start.
You can see just going off your screen there, it's the 19 and the 5 who were leading this thing whenever this restart began, and now they've dropped back to the back of this lead pack. I say lead pack, it's the only pack out there. When we get here, it's just one pack.
43 car there, Bobby Labonte driving for the King Richard Petty. Bobby inducted in the Talladega Walk of Fame last night.
Whoa, it gets a big bump right in the corner. That can't be good, Dale.
No, that's not a good place to get that. You don't want that. You saw Jamie McMurray and Juan Pablo Montoya up on the high side go all the way to the front. Around these guys, they made the long way around and went to the front. Oh, trouble.
David Rudiman sideways.
Right rear tires down on this 44. Oh, no, Jeff Gordon's torn up. Oh, man, this is going to kill him in points.
And he is nosed into the wall.
How bad is it? He's behind the scoreboard, can't see him.
Yeah, he's got fluid coming out. It's what they can't see. That's not good. It's either the
got a lot of damage,
radiator.
A lot of damage to the body, which is extremely
got the
important.
right front really hard, left front. All right, let me see if I can get a TV shot. You to the garage. How's your steering wheel? Way off?
So the 6-time Talladega winner having trouble here. Heavy damage on his Chevrolet after winning both races in 2007.
You saw the right rear tire was down on David Rudiman's car.
Yeah, he blew a tire right in the middle of that pack.
Right, about a quarter of a turn.
See, everybody's kind of, even though they are 3 wide and jockeying for position, it was actually fairly calm.
You see Rudiman right in the middle of your screen there. Jeff Gordon just behind him. See if they make some contact here. There's really nothing happening right there.
There it goes.
There's the tire.
The tire just exploded, almost just like what we saw Friday on Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car.
Oh, he came right across the front of Gordon, who then went into the outside wall. He didn't hit the 44 car. He might have just grazed him, but I believe then he was. We could get another shot. I think we'll see Jeff Gordon hit the outside wall.
Yeah, look, he veered to the right to dodge the 44 coming across his nose, and looked like he might have had a bump. Let's see him turn into the wall.
Yeah, I think he just these things, when you make a hard turn like this, you just lose control of them. Now let's see, right there it is. He has to make. Yeah, there's nothing you can do.
Close.
You have to turn to miss him, and then you just lose control of the car.
Okay, get your stuff together there, Stevie.
Now watch the 48 car get some debris here.
Spin in front of you.
Whoa, piece of that tire. That's a pretty big, heavy piece. It could have done some damage to this 48. Still hung on the car. Also, Dale Earnhardt Jr. looked like he just snuck by the 24 car when he was coming off the wall.
24 car headed behind the wall. Dave.
And Jerry, they were going to repair the car on pit road, work on the front left fender on that car until the radiator was called as Jeff is leaking out the front. The guys check that out. They will go to the garage. Pit stop's happening on pit road, guys.
99 car came in early. Carl Edwards. Shannon.
Kyle Busch pulled his 18 car in pit stall, guys. He's off.
Boy, a near miss there with David Gilliland. Here's a 31 car of Burton. Mike.
And they just completed service on the right side of the car, looking at a 4-tire change, also a chassis adjustment on Jeff Burton's car. They're off the jack and away, Dave.
And it will be a 4-tire stop for Jimmy Johnson. Looks like he has a scrub on the top of the hood, but no real damage. They're checking to make sure the airflow is okay on the front of that race car. Ron Malik, the car chief, shouting for some tools to go over the front. Now they are going to make some repairs on the front of that car. A splitter brace is broken on Jimmy Johnson's car, so the problem's continuing for the championship leader coming into today's race.
The number 2 car, Kurt Busch, on pit road right now. He's got that hood up. They are having engine problems. He says he feels like the engine is just missing. They gave him 4 tires. They're going to check those plug wires, make sure that everything is good. They are going to send him back out, according to the crew, just to see if there's any problems right now. Kurt Busch, those guys just looking a tough hit for Penske Racing. Of course, the 12 team already behind the wall today.
It looks like they've got some kind of problem that's affecting both teams with the engine.
We mentioned a moment ago the 99 car also came on pit road when the pits were closed. Carl Edwards, and he will have to go to the tail end of the longest line for pitting early.
Long shots, it's believing in yourself when